When India launched Operation Sindoor, its approach was precise and restrained, targeting only terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, avoiding civilian and military targets. But Pakistan's Operation Bunyan-ul-Marsoos, launched on the 7th of May, was anything but. Between 7th of May and the 10th of May, Pakistan launched 300 to 400 drones, cruise missiles and rockets across northern India. Civilian infrastructure and urban areas were also targeted. Notably, on the 8th and 9th of May, a red alert was issued as dozens of drones flew over cities along the border. But beyond military retaliation, one target stood out: Amritsar, home to the Golden Temple, the holiest shrine in Sikhism. On the 8th and 9th of May, at least 15 Pakistani drones were detected near the Amritsar airport. By the 10th of May, a coordinated air assault on Amritsar was underway. Pakistan's intended prize was the Harmandir Sahib. But India had anticipated this, and India's integrated air defense shield was ready. Using, in fact, a network of Akash missile batteries, L-70 guns, radar-linked intercept systems and local intel, Indian armed forces created a holistic air defense umbrella over the city. Most drones were neutralized mid-air. One crashed in a village, but no injuries or damage to critical sites. Let's quickly take a listen to Major General Kartik Shishadri, in fact, who's shared the details of this particular operation with us. Take a listen.
Pak army does not have any legitimate targets. We anticipated that he will target Indian military installations, civilian targets, including religious places. Of these, Golden Temple appeared to be the most prominent. We also received credible intelligence that Golden Temple is a prime target, which we had brainstormed earlier. We mobilized additional modern air defense assets to give a holistic air defense umbrella cover to Golden Temple, which is a veritable symbol of nation's syncretic faith. On 8th early morning, in the hours of darkness, Pakistan carried out a massive air assault with unmanned aerial weapons, primarily drones and long-range missiles. We were fully prepared since we had anticipated this, and our brave heart and alert army air defense gunners thwarted Pakistan Army's nefarious designs and shot down all drones and missiles targeted at Golden Temple, thus not allowing even a scratch to come on our holy Golden Temple.
Now, in the end, the Indian Armed Forces did not just safeguard sovereignty, they protected a sacred symbol, ensuring the Golden Temple remained untouched. To understand and examine how India saved the Harmandir Sahib, I am joined by Air Vice Marshal P.K. Srivastava, defense expert. Thank you very much, Air Vice Marshal. Welcome to News9. Sir, help us understand, why target the Golden Temple, a sacred shrine? Why would Pakistan want to attack it? Is the intent sort of to provoke communal tensions in India?
Neha, you asked a very good question, and I must thank you for asking this question, because how we defended is one story. Why they chose this as a target is another story. This only goes to show their jihadi mentality, their way to bring about kind of fracture in our society, which is united, and we speak as nationalists, we speak as Indians. So every democratic society has some kind of fault lines. Ethnic fault lines sometimes get exploited by the adversary. In this case, our adversary is Pakistan, which is soaked with all kind of jihadi mentality. They cannot think beyond it. And this strategy, we were aware all the time we prepared ourselves. We were aware, we are always aware that they would like to bring in this kind of fracture. In collusion with so-called us very minuscule kind of people who are also funded by ISI and called Khalistanis. They see this as an opportunity to bring about disharmony in a system. And let me, through you, bring to our viewers that half the Air Force, when I was there, was built around Sikh community, officers, men, and those people who are in command structure. Sikhs have been our greatest fighters for the cause of our, all the wars we fought. So they know, we know that we are one. But of course, adversary would try all and everything in their armor, and this is what they try to do. So this is the answer to your first question. They would keep it as, and we knew it, and so we were ready, as General pointed out very clearly.
Also ask you this, what had India really anticipated about the Pakistani strikes?
Yes, we anticipated. We anticipated this. This is on their radar. They would like to attack it with drones. They would like to attack it with missiles. And we had a system going. Let me define the system, what he said. I'll just complement that. That we have today a kind of integrated system which is net centric. When I say net centric, that means all inputs from whether they are coming from space, they're coming from nearby radars, they're coming for all radars which are nearby, they get onto a system called ICCS, that is with the Indian Air Force, and Indian Army has Akash 3. These two are integrated system which tell them what targets are their aerial targets and where are they coming, what is their project, what is their intent, and accordingly they activate systems, whether they are guns, man pads, that is man portable air defense systems, or iglas kind of things, or are Akash is meant for point and area defense. So Akash was there. It can simultaneously track nearly 64 targets, and it's an indigenous system. We have enough of it and we can produce enough of them. So, as far as Indian defense is concerned, it was done with our improved foreign system. We have augmented L-70 and all that and improved them for our own purpose. And we have this Akash in center, sitting as the main thing, defending our, uh, in this case, the point area defense for the Harmandir Sahib, which was extremely important, well thought of, and well put in practice.
Right, and sir,
Neha.
also, in your view, how did India's air defense systems really perform in response to the attack?
Neha, our system really performed extremely well. I'm proud of it. I was connected with the system. I have fired for a similar kind of missile. I was a firer, guidance officer, which was known as SAM 3 Pichoras. It's a reflection of that which we indigenized and made our own with a lot of augmented things, our own radars, our own tracking radars, our own missiles. So it's a very beautiful system. If you really ask me, we are always ready for this kind of thing. And this readiness is reflected in the way it performed, in the way it did, because it's a multi-tiered, multi-layered system where you get response. Not even some certain things are not visible, like space assets are not visible, but they provide us a lot of information about the battlefield scenario. If you take we have imagery coming from there, so we know where the concentration of troops is there, how things are flying. We also have communication intelligence satellites. We also have electromagnetic wave intelligence kind of satellites. We have radar intelligence satellites. So those are not visible to normal, the way we deal about the or talk about the conflicts. Then we have information orbits. We know that how we have our own teams which find out how their orders are flowing from one direction to another, and that gives us the correct intelligence. Actually, Neha, in today's world and in the new whatever wars we are going to fight, the target intelligence and how are they going to respond or react or launch their attacks is, I would say, one of the most important element of knowing how the targets or how the enemy is going to respond or how they're going to launch our attacks. For that, we have great ability now. This is different than 1971. It's a new era war. We are ready for that on all spectrums, whether it is electronics warfare, whether it's information warfare or space warfare. So that gave us capability, and then to engage cost effectively. Means if a drone is coming, we'll not use Akash missile. It's a cheaper target. We'll use our L-70 guns, we'll use manpads, we'll IGLA-S. So we'll use these batteries. And how to use them, how to engage them is told us by our own command and control system, which is net-centric, ISCCS and Akash Tir. Together they make that very deadly combination. And that's how we were able to defeat the enemy. That was the reason that drones came in hundreds, missiles came in, I would say, tens and all that. We were still able to engage each and every missile, each and every drone without causing any civil or any military casualty.
Right,
That's
sir.
something.
Right, sir. So this isn't a conventional air defense system. It combines equipment ranging from the 1960s, to the modern day S-400. Would you consider this a good example of Indian innovation, integrating disparate technologies to tackle evolving threats?
There you asked a question which I would have loved to answer. Actually, what we have done, we have innovated, digitalized all of our system. And we have also put better precision targeting systems on that. That's how we were able to engage. We could amalgate a hybrid net-centric missile system to take care of, or air defense system to take care of all kinds of all kinds of weapons they'll launch at us, whether they are drones come in many categories. There are drones which are medium altitude long endurance drones. Also there are drones which are suicide drones. There are drones which are long male kind of drones, hail kind of high altitude, long endurance. So we planned out for everything, and there are missiles, and there are strategic missiles. So it can take care of from ballistic missiles to cruise missiles to drones to all their kinds of missiles they can launch at us. So it's a four-tiered system. The first tier is strategic layer, the second is mid layer. So the first tier takes care of anything which is 450 plus kilometers and beyond. And the next tier takes care of anything which is 140 to 450. And then the next one takes care of which is 40 to 140. And then we got less than 40 kilometers. And then we got close-in weapon systems, wherein our AK gun batteries, our L-70, they form the close-in weapon systems. If they leak through that, we can still kill them. So with whole network of systems and satellites feeding us, we know where are you and how to hit you and with what to hit you. This is what was the template which really saved us and saved our military installations, saved our civilians. I would say that was more important, and saved our holy shrines, which are trying to use as a kind of rupture in our society, which would have been very unfortunate. But we are proud that we will never let it happen, and we cannot let it happen. We're always ready for that.
Right, sir. Sir, also, in the end, I'd like you to shed some light also on what kind of weaponry was used by the Pakistani army.
So Pakistani army has strategic weapons also. They used probably Abadil. They used that and they launched at us. We were able to engage that. They used all kinds of drones. They used kamikaze drones on us. They used male kind of drone on us, medium altitude, long duration. They endurance. They used hail kind of drone on us, high altitude, long endurance. They also used PL-15, which is a beyond visual range missile, on us. They used everything possible in the armor. So now they have a lesson, what do we say in military science, that they have to look back, that you cannot really penetrate. You cannot really do any kind of, terror strikes on us and then feel that your terrorists can hide behind military, Pakistani army. No, we'll not let it happen. We'll ensure that these terrorists, wherever they don't have any shield. They had the first shield of nuclear, arms. They were threatening us with that. That continued for a long while from all corners, from their rail minister to all kinds of ministers. So we just sent a message very strongly that we understand and we can take care of a nuclear threat. That we gave a message. That's another story. We also said that your terrorists are not safe in the kind of bunkers they want to go and hide behind the Pakistani army. And the coalition of Pakistani army, after we attacked the 9 such centers, came out for whole of the global community to see and watch. They were standing next to their coffins with folded hands. Generals and chief of army staff was laying wreath on their, on their coffins. That's the kind of collusion they have. They still got, I would say IMF loan. That's very unfortunate. But global community now is well aware what Pakistani army is, how involved it is with the kind of terrorists which we want to stop as a global initiative. There's a global initiative against terror networks, but they need to see that there's a factory and there are a lot of factories in Pakistan. We need to take care of that. And that, of course, for our own sake, for our own safety, we'll take care of them. That's a resolve, and that we'll do it all the time, all the while.